The eye contact overload. Picture this. You're talking to someone, maintaining good eye contact, like all the social advice says, when suddenly, your brain starts panicking. Am I staring too long? Should I blink? Look away? No, that's weird. And now it's too late. Congratulations, you've just experienced eye contact overload. Eye contact is a social superpower. It builds trust, signals confidence, and triggers the brain's social connection network. But here's the glitch. Hold it for more than about 3 to 5 seconds, and the brain starts perceiving it as either intimacy or a threat. Research in neuroscience shows that prolonged eye contact increases activity in the amygdala, the brain's emotional and threat detection hub, which can make your body respond as if something intense or confrontational is happening, even if it's just you over-focusing on a barista. So when you suddenly look away, mid-conversation, that's your brain pulling the emergency brake. The awkward silence spiral. Two people talking. Then, a pause. Half a second passes. 1 second, 2 seconds. And now your brain is screaming, say something, say anything. This is the awkward silence spiral. Humans are wired for conversational rhythm, like a dance, with natural back-and-forth timing. When there's an unexpected gap, your brain interprets it as a sign of disconnection, tension, or even rejection. In reality, most people don't notice silences as much as you think, but our own inner monologue amplifies them. We're running background calculations like, what do they think of me? Did I say something wrong? Do they hate me now? The glitch is that our social anxiety meter is oversensitive. It's trying to fix a problem that often doesn't exist. The name drop freeze. You're introduced to someone new. Hi, I'm Alex. You shake hands, smile, nod, and instantly forget their name. That's the name drop freeze, and it's not because you're rude. It's because your brain was too busy running the first impression protocol to store the data. When you meet someone, your working memory is flooded with information. Facial features, voice tone, handshake pressure, the surrounding environment. Names get pushed to the bottom of the queue. It's an attention bandwidth problem, not a memory problem. Ironically, the more you try to remember, the more your focus slips, which is why so many people learn tricks like repeating the name aloud to force the data into long-term storage before it vanishes. The delayed comeback. You walk away from an argument, and 5 minutes later, the perfect comeback hits you. Too late. This is called l'esprit de l'escalier, the spirit of the staircase, named after the feeling of thinking of the perfect thing to say only after leaving the party. The glitch comes from how our brain handles stress. In the moment, the fight-or-flight response floods your system with adrenaline, prioritizing speed over cleverness. Once you've calmed down, your brain finally boots up the witty response module. But by then, the moment's gone, and you're left rehearsing it for the next decade. The group laugh delay. You're in a group conversation. Someone tells a joke, everyone laughs, and you laugh a split second late. That micro delay? It's your brain running context processing. When humor lands, your brain has to decode tone, facial cues, and double meanings almost instantly. Most of the time, this takes milliseconds, but if you were slightly distracted or processing more than one signal at once, you lag behind. Humans are surprisingly good at fake laughing to cover the delay, but that tiny hesitation can still make you feel like you're offbeat socially, even though nobody else noticed. The goodbye dance. You say goodbye to someone, start walking away, and realize you're heading in the same direction. Cue the awkward goodbye dance. Our social scripts, handshakes, hugs, waves, are designed for clear endings. When the ending doesn't stick, your brain has to improvise, and that's when you get the second goodbye, the weird small talk, or pretending to check your phone until you can peel off. It's harmless but deeply uncomfortable, because your brain hates breaking the neat start-middle-end pattern of social encounters. The text message autopsy. You send a message, and their entire response is a single letter, K. Instantly, your brain goes into panic mode. This is tone ambiguity, and it's a glitch of written communication. Without facial expressions or voice tone, your brain fills in the gaps, often with worst-case scenarios. We evolved to read social meaning from thousands of tiny cues, and when those cues vanish in text, our brain compensates by overanalyzing every letter, punctuation mark, and emoji. That's why you can spend an hour dissecting a 3-word text from your crush like it's the Dead Sea Scrolls. The too much too late reply. You open a message, think I'll reply later, and suddenly it's been 3 weeks. Now replying feels weird, So you wait longer, and now it's too late. This is response paralysis, and it happens because your brain assigns reply as a pending task. Pending tasks linger in the mental background, slowly gaining emotional weight until the effort to fix it feels higher than the reward. The same glitch explains why some people ghost unintentionally. They're not avoiding you, they're avoiding the feeling of having taken too long. The mutual avoidance walk. You spot someone you know in the distance. You're walking toward each other, but instead of making eye contact, you both suddenly pull out your phones. This is social load management. The anticipation of a micro-interaction can be more stressful than the interaction itself because you have to plan when to acknowledge the other person. Too soon feels weird. Too late feels rude. By avoiding eye contact, you delay the moment of engagement, even though it makes you both look like you've never seen sunlight before. The phantom vibe shift. You step into the room, and immediately, something feels off. The air is heavier, conversations fade, and a tense silence lingers. That's the phantom vibe shift, and it's your social radar picking up tiny changes in tone, posture, and group energy before your conscious brain has caught up. Humans evolved hypersensitive threat detection in groups. Being able to read the mood could mean the difference between safety and danger. Today, it's why you can sense when you've walked into a fight, even if no one says a word. The false wave. You see someone waving in your direction. You wave back enthusiastically, only to realize they were waving at the person behind you. Congratulations, you've just experienced the false wave. This glitch comes from the brain's social relevance bias, our tendency to assume that ambiguous gestures or signals are aimed at us. Psychologists suggest this happens because the brain prioritizes quick social responses over careful analysis. Reacting fast feels safer than risking awkwardness. Today, it just means you occasionally wave at a stranger, and then spend the next minute pretending to stretch your arm, like it was totally on purpose, all while silently hoping no one noticed your panic. The wrong direction pass. You move to step aside for someone coming toward you, and they move the same way. Now you're both stuck doing the awkward sidewalk shuffle. This is called reciprocal motion confusion. Your brain's accidentally choreographing a dance neither of you signed up for. Humans are usually excellent at predicting movement, but when both people try to move politely at the same time, our mirror neurons kick in, syncing us up in the worst possible way. The fastest fix? Break eye contact, pick a lane like you own it, and commit, even if it feels slightly rude. Otherwise, you'll both linger in a polite standoff, silently wondering how a simple sidewalk became a 3-second battle of wills. The laugh that wasn't for you. You hear laughter nearby and instinctively check if it's about you. This is a form of egocentric threat scanning, your brain quickly evaluating whether social cues are directed at you. Psychologists link this to our negativity bias. We're wired to assume ambiguous social signals might be personally relevant. The result? You may convince yourself someone is laughing at you, even when they're reacting to a meme on their phone. That half-second of mental panic can make you replay every possible scenario in your head, all while the actual laughter has moved on. The over-handshake. You go in for a handshake, but they go for a fist bump. You try to switch. Now it's a weird hand mash that feels like a secret handshake gone wrong. This is a greeting mismatch, a clash between two social scripts your brain keeps ready for quick deployment. When two scripts collide, your brain tries to adapt mid-gesture, like a phone running conflicting apps. The result is a slow, clumsy dance of hands, making what should have been a 2-second greeting look like a 3-second improvisational performance no one asked for. The exit, but not really. You say bye in a group setting, and then realize you left something behind, forcing you to walk back through the same crowd you just dramatically exited from. This is a narrative violation. The brain treats social interactions like mini-stories, with clear beginnings, middles, and endings. Returning breaks the final scene, making your re-entry feel awkward. The mind reacts with a mini panic, eyes darting, posture tightening, and a desperate hope that your return goes unnoticed. You become the star of a tiny, unintended drama you never auditioned for. The do I know you stare. You make brief eye contact with a stranger, and they hold it a little too long. This triggers a recognition check, your brain scanning its facial memory database to figure out if you've met this person before. It's like running a rapid internal search through hundreds of stored faces. Sometimes your brain convinces you that you must know them, favoring false positives over false negatives. Suddenly, you're giving awkward smiles or nods, trying to act casual while your mind invents plausible connections that don't exist. The echo greeting. Someone says, "Have a good day," and you reply with, "You too," only to realize they actually said, "Enjoy your meal." This is autopilot responding. Your brain executing preloaded conversational scripts before fully processing the input. When the actual words don't match the expected pattern, your mouth has already committed. The result? A delayed cringe, a mental facepalm, and the tiny realization that your social processor just shipped a response without approval. The phantom phone check. You pretend to check your phone to avoid an interaction, and then realize your phone isn't even in your hand. This is avoidance scripting, a social behavior designed to escape awkwardness. The phone acts as a social shield, keeping your hands and gaze busy while your brain negotiates potential discomfort. Without it, your body instantly feels exposed, triggering split-second panic, darting eyes, tightened posture, and a silent hope that no one noticed your imaginary scroll. The spillover laugh. You're still laughing at the last joke, and someone makes a new comment, so you laugh again, even if it wasn't funny. This is social contagion, your brain automatically syncing with the group's emotional cues. Laughter signals bonding, and your mind often prioritizes group harmony over accurate humor judgment. The result? Chuckling at a punchline that barely registers, smiling at jokes you don't fully get, and realizing your laughter has its own agenda, keeping everyone in sync. The overlap talk. You start talking at the exact same time as someone else, then you both stop to let the other speak, then both start again, endlessly. This is turn-taking collision, a glitch in conversational rhythm where both brains misread the tiny pauses signaling your turn. Your brains hesitate simultaneously, creating a loop of mutual deference. It's especially common in polite cultures, where the fear of interrupting ironically extends overlaps. Suddenly, a simple conversation becomes a stuttering dance of, "You go," "No, you go," complete with nervous smiles and secretly timed breaths. From waving at the wrong person to the pause you panic about, these aren't flaws. They're proof that social interaction is messy, unpredictable, and human. Nobody has perfect social code. We're all just improvising, glitching, and laughing through it. So, which of these glitches have you survived this week? Drop your favorite in the comments, or your most embarrassing one. If you learned something new, hit that like button, share this with a friend who always trips over their words, and make sure to subscribe for more strange and fascinating quirks of the human mind.